What should we have? What should be our thing? Then we do it every time we have an Ask So.
I don't know. Welcome to ASK SOW Fridays.
Hey guys, welcome to Ask So Fridays.
It's the ASK SOW Fridays.
I'm already seeing it like on TV.
Okay, let's do that. Hey guys, welcome to ASK SOW Fridays. It's giving like papaya. Shake it like a pom pom, like a pom pom shake.
Guys are
Oh, Folk was trying to lick under my foot. Nigga, no, Pogo. Oh, come on, Nini, don't do that. No, no, no. Okay, we're ready.
okay. Okay. Hi guys, and welcome to Ask
Ask
So
So Friday. Oh, okay, wait. How fast are we saying this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, last take. Last
Okay.
take.
Hi guys, and welcome to Ask
Ask
So
So
Friday.
Friday.
Close enough.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
close enough.
Okay.
Let's hop right in because I'm so excited about this. Okay.
Okay. Do you answer everybody who writes you a message?
Yeah, I think we want to answer as many questions as we can. And if we don't get to your question this week, hello, there's always next week, Friday. So, yeah.
And the next
Okay.
question is, are you able to say no when you don't want to do something? I'll let you have this one first.
So actually, when this question came in, I thought I was gonna say yes, I'm able to say no. Until today, I realized no, I'm not able to say no to some things that I don't want to do. It's something that I think a lot of us still struggle with, and we're still working on it, which I think is beautiful, right? We're works in progress. So I'm working on it, is the answer.
Yeah.
What about you,
Yeah.
Chelsea?
No, I'm the same way. Like, I feel like I like to think that I'm someone who can say what I want and what I don't want. But if somebody asks me, "Oh, do you want to go there with me? Do you want to do this? Can I get your contact?" and I don't want to give it to them, it's really hard for me to say like no to their face. Um, and I end up making plans and then having to like cancel them or just because like I can't say no. So I've been working on that and stop being that kind of people pleasing. But yeah, it's a journey.
It's a journey. It's a
Yeah.
journey. We're getting there. Okay. Next question. Is there something at the moment that is making life hard, and what exactly? I feel like this is such a question where you need to reflect. Personally, for me, I've got all these goals and, all these things that I want to check off. And I spend so much time in the future and then coming back to the present moment and understanding that the things that I'm envisioning aren't here yet. They're coming, but they're not here yet. And then having to then deal with the present and what's already here, that is that's what I'm facing a lot of challenges with, especially
Yeah.
right now. I know, like, you and I, Chelsea, we've got so many like ideas, so many goals that we set in mind, but then we need to come and bring ourselves back here. It's like, so what's actually here?
Mm-hmm.
What? Like, three-quarters of those things aren't here, and then it's kind of like, okay, crap. Then I end up getting overwhelmed because, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. So I think it would be challenging, not hard, but challenging.
I think similar to kind of what you mentioned as well. I think one thing that I tend to do is always feel like I'm not doing enough or I need to do better. So if I'm like lately I've been thinking I really need to get back to the gym.
Mhm.
I really need to get this work done. It's summer, I should be having fun. Like I'm even giving myself a hard time because I'm like, you need to do better in having fun. Like you need to have more fun. You're on break. You're supposed to be having fun. Are you having fun? This work, have you done the work? Are you getting the work done? You did that today, but you should have done that anyway. Have you worked out? It's like I'm constantly always on my own case about needing to do more or needing to do better at the things that I'm already doing or things that I'm not doing. And that always makes life, yeah, harder than it needs to be, honestly. I'm working on trying to give myself a break. But yeah.
Just so funny
And
that, like, we have no idea, but we struggle with things that are similar to each other, but we don't know that because we rarely, I don't know, this world teaches us not to speak or to say anything, to keep things to yourself. But we have no idea that when we say something, the person next to us is going through that exact same thing. And it's like, you don't need to go and struggle and just be in that oneness by yourself when someone else is struggling through the
yeah.
same thing. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
love that.
it's so true. I think we're always looking at each other and comparing, like, that person looks like they have everything together, or that person looks like they're
Mhm.
doing the thing that I want to be doing. And then meanwhile, that person is looking at you like, damn, she looks like she has it together. She's doing the things that I wish I could be doing. We're all constantly going through that battle, and it's kind of crazy.
Next question is, are you good at texting?
Nope.
Nope. I prefer to FaceTime and call.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like
Yeah.
not anybody that knows me knows I don't like texting. It just, I find it so time consuming.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't mind texting. It's just that I respond to people in my head. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, 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 that makes sense. So I'll be like, yeah, yeah, I'm down to do that. But like, I do it here. And then 12 hours pass and I'm like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to respond to this. And I'm just like, like, why can't we all just, why can't we all just.
You know what I mean?
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Yeah. I think we have the
Dogs.
same reasons for not cats because they're just so independent. They're so like, I don't need you. It's like you're a guest in their house. It's like they're like, where's my
Like
food?
you pay the bills for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. And they just come and they go whenever they feel like it, and they come back and they're just like, meow. They just don't care. No, yeah, that's too
No.
much. No. Do you say sorry a lot?
I used to say
Yeah,
sorry a lot. And that came based off of traumatic experiences, if that made sense.
yeah.
Like now when I look back at it, I used to say sorry because I always felt like I was in the wrong. I did something, I need to apologize. It's my fault. I always took blame, sometimes blame that wasn't even mine to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I'm working on. I don't want to say I fully recovered. And no, I don't say sorry, because even if I pass someone in the grocery store, maybe I bump into you, my first word out of my mouth is, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But I don't say sorry as much as I used to, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense, as I'm
Yeah.
working on healing that wound.
And it's funny that this question came in right now because it was just the other day that I noticed this about myself as well, about saying sorry. Like I was at the visa office, which I was at like just the other day, right? And
Mhm.
the sign said, put your phone on silent. So I was like, oh, cool. So my phone was on silent, but I was using it. And then the security guard turned around and was like, you can't be using your phone in here. And then I was like, sorry. But as I said sorry and then put it away, I was like, I didn't need to say sorry for that. All I had to say was, oh, okay, thank you for letting me know. And even in the grocery store, sometimes it's not even like I bump into someone. It's just that maybe I'm standing in someone's way and then they say, excuse me. And I say, oh, sorry. And then they're like, no, it's okay. And it's like, why was I saying sorry? It just, all I had to do was move and say, oh, here you go. Because I wasn't like in their way on purpose. So yeah,
Exactly.
I'm noticing that sorry just kind of slips out and there's no need
Sorry.
to always be apologizing for existing. I'm just existing. Who was the last person you spoke to aside from each other?
Oh, okay. So I was gonna be like, duh.
Yeah, it's gonna be like almost always the answer is gonna be you for this one.
I so love it. Wouldn't have it any other way.
um,
Um, Tell me the last person you spoke to. That would be Vanessa.
we spoke to the same last person. I also spoke to her last. That's hilarious. Okay, I go. You can go for that
Do
one.
you drink alcohol sometimes? Um, how do I answer this question? I don't want to say no, just because it's something that I've recently figured out that I haven't had alcohol in a couple months now.
Hmm.
But I don't even know how the transition happened. I think my body is slowly trying to get off the alcohol. I don't know. It's not really agreeing with it. I'm having some sparkling apple juice though, and it still gives me that same wine effect where I still kind of
Yeah.
feel. "Ooh, ooh, ooh." But yeah, I guess I'm not alcoholic then.
Yeah.
Oh
Same.
my god.
Same. This has been happening for me as well for like the last few weeks. I went out to dinner with some friends twice in the last 2 weeks, and both times I was like, "Oh, let me try the mocktail," which is the first time I've ever.
Mm.
Because when I go to restaurants, I really like cocktails because they're so they're nice and they're pretty, and that's like an experience for me. And I always make sure to get a cocktail. And so now I was like, "Let me get the mocktail," and I was like, "When did that start happening?" So I
Yeah.
think I'm also slowly phasing alcohol out. It's just like it's almost like my body's like, why?
And
Yeah.
I love that it's so easy to just get out of a habit.
Yeah.
when you are not necessarily focusing on getting out of a habit, if that makes sense. Like when you put too much focus into something, it doesn't work out. But it's
Mhm.
like you don't think about that, and then next thing you know, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, when was the last time I had a cocktail?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Like,
when was the
yeah.
last time I had a cocktail?
Tell me where else I can follow you.
I love it.
Love the, yeah. I love this question. Like,
Whoever said this question, I like this question. I like it. I
God
like
bless
it.
you. Whoever you ask, God bless you. Um, where else can you follow us? On Threads. We'll put our ad. We'll put our ad. On TikTok. We'll put our ad. On Facebook. We'll put our ad. We'll set up new accounts just for you. Let us know where you want to follow us, and we'll be there.
Yeah, we love that. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, I love this question. You like cooking? Question mark. So I am currently enjoying cooking right now, but I'm one of those people that used to hate cooking. And every time that I did cook, like, nobody ever said, "Oh my gosh, your food is amazing." So I always just thought that, "Oh, okay, I guess it's not that nice." And I think because I was so young too, I was early on in high school. It was kind of like, "Oh, okay, so my food's not nice," and then people joke around, "No," but then I took that seriously.
That's a cool
And then this
memory.
one time, right? I in cooking class in, oh my gosh, in Form 2, I'll never forget this day. I almost burnt the kitchen down, and we were making mac and cheese, and then the cooking teacher screamed at me. She asked me, "Do you want to burn us all?" So of course, yes, I was traumatized. I'm not trying to cook after that. So I
Mm,
did end up taking
that's
cooking.
fair.
Ended up hating it my entire life until a couple of weeks ago when I was like, okay, I need to fix this habit because I'm trying to eat, really nice, nutritious foods, but how do I even do that? I don't like to cook. Where do I even get that? I
Hmm.
can't just be living off frozen foods. So, as I'm watching all these TikToks, or actually, Chelsea, you used to make the crazy. This is what used to shock me. Like, I used to come over to your place. I remember you made this like rosemary chicken. Oh
Oh
my gosh,
yeah,
you
one of my
set the
favorites.
table up. You set the table up. And then you made this like rosemary chicken with like mashed potatoes and some vegetables. And I was like eating, and I was like, she made this out of this kitchen. And I don't like mushroom, but you made like this mushroom
Mushroom
sauce.
sauce, yeah, mushroom cream sauce, my favorite.
And I was like, she just does
Ah!
this. And I'd like call you all the time. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm cooking. And you're always making something that was like so fancy. So now I feel like I'm following in those footsteps where I'm like, okay, like I need to hop on this,
Hmm.
what is it that I want to eat right now? I'm in love with like vegetables, with
Yeah.
like broccolini. So I fry it up a little, y'all.
I feel like it's so nice to like I used to really like creating like a meal for myself, and then I would set my dinner plate and then I would make my little drink and I'd mix my cocktail and I would do my little, and I would set it up and I'd be like, okay, now I'm ready to sit down and enjoy my evening. It's so nice to like take care of yourself in that way.
I love it because I'm learning how to do that, and I feel like a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like even with this like sparkling juice, right? Like putting it in just the glass and then it just elevates your entire feeling.
Elevates the whole experience. Yeah. Like I had all these glasses and people would always say, what do you need all these glasses for? Martini glass, champagne flute, wine glasses. And I'm like, it's an experience. Each
It's
one
like,
is
why
an
go to the
experience.
restaurant? I've created it right here.
Yeah.
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 But it's funny for me because on the cooking thing, something then happened with me over the last year where I didn't like anything that I cooked anymore. And every time I would cook, it was like by force to eat the things that I was making, even though they were some of the same things I used to really like. And I just found myself not eating meat anymore. And then I got to that place of like, okay, so now what do I eat now that I'm not eating meat? And so now it's like I'm rediscovering cooking again. using completely new foods that I never used to cook with before. You know, like I never used to cook with chickpeas, although, you know, maybe I should have, but I never used to cook things like chickpeas and lentils and those things. I didn't know even how to incorporate them and how to include them. And now I'm making like whole meals, using, you know, just vegetables and making whole stews and making dips and making, you know, just enjoying myself. So yeah, yeah, we do like cooking. We
I
like
do. Oh
cooking.
my gosh, this is the first time I'm saying that. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm healing a wound. I'm gonna cry.
It's actually crazy. I'm actually so proud of you as well.
Oh, I do
Because
like
you really did never
cooking.
used to cook. You really, nothing. I would open your fridge and there'd be nothing in there. I used to get so mad. I'm like, where's the sauce? Where the spices? Where's the food? Yeah. Ah, amen. I'm so proud of you.
Amen.
Love it.
Oh, this is an interesting question.
Yeah. Do you delete chat history after not having contact for a while? I have the same problem with deleting my chats as I do with getting rid of like clothes and anything in my apartment. I'm always like, but you never know when I'll need it. But I, you know. And so I actually keep my chats. I have chats from like 8 years ago. I have chats from like 2 relationships ago. I should probably clear them out, but I tend not to. And for the memories too, I don't know. I don't. What about you?
Oh my gosh, some tea. I let's share, right? We're here to share. I know, like when like I used to be in a relationship. This is like the yeah. When I used to be in a relationship, when I was younger, I would like we'd like get into an argument and then I delete the chat. You know. But
Mm-hmm.
typically, I don't like to do that. But I would then because I'm angry. So I delete it, when I'm angry. But if we like broke up or anything like that, no, it wouldn't be like a thought that even came to my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I same on the relationship thing, and I never deleted our chats before. Even when we broke up, I didn't delete our chats. But
Mhm.
then that's probably because a part of me was hoping we would get back together. Now this is now some tea. I was hoping we would get back together, and then on the one day where he was like, "We're definitely not getting back together." I was like, "Are you sure? Because I'm gonna delete this chat right now. I'll press delete. Are you sure? Because once I press delete, it's over for real."
For real. For real. It's for real.
And that was the first time I ever deleted like a big chat.
I
But
love that.
anywho,
Ooh. Are you able to
oh,
make friends easily in places you've never been before?
I feel like you don't have a problem with this.
I love it, especially when I don't know anybody. Oh, I'm in paradise. Get me into that room. Um, yeah, I think I'm like a curious person and I do enjoy like learning about people, learning about different people. I enjoy making new friends. I'm also really, really good with small talk. And I think that helps. I pretty much enjoy small talk because I feel like it just like tells me a little bit more about the person too.
Really?
I love it. Yeah, because like,
Yeah.
it's like, hi, how are you doing? How's your day today? And you're just like, you're not giving me like an insight of your life, but it's more so the type of person you are. If you're going to tell me about, I know like a lot of people talk about the weather, and there's nothing else to talk about. It's
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, it's so sunny outside. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, like I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a glimpse of who you are because I like
Mhm.
been spending lots of time outside. I also try like see what it is that I can resonate with you. And then that's what then helps me to build the conversations as we go. Yeah.
It's such a natural with people. I'm always like,
It's so weird
how?
because I think that's you.
That's hilarious because
Like,
I'm always like, let me take notes.
what? I
Yeah,
think
I'm
you
always
then
like, let me.
like because I didn't know that. It's something that you told me about me that I
Mm-hmm.
then ended up noticing that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute. Okay, Um I used to what I did used to struggle with, now we're just getting off topic, was keeping friends if that makes sense. But now I understand that they weren't even my true friends to begin with. I used to think I was an awful friend. So meeting people I was good with, it was I always struggled with the keeping the people. Now I'm understanding that like I've kept the friend since like how long have we been friends? I've been keeping friends like this, y'all. I'm like this.
We've been friends for so long now.
Now I'm an amazing friend because I've got amazing friends. Okay.
Are you a person who thinks that boys shouldn't cry? Boys should cry. Boys need to cry more, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Crying is so good. We need to release all of that. Oof, we need
Mm-hmm.
to release all of that. I think it's, you know, I know with this now society, or that's the men in it and society in general, that's made it like we've got into a place where it seems like men can't cry, or men crying is a sign of weakness, or and they get made fun of for crying, or get called lesser than for crying. And yet the strongest men, the strongest people in general, people that can cry, that can allow that vulnerability in, that can meet themselves at that place, are some of those are the strongest people. And I feel like those are some of the most masculine men. Those are the men that are really in touch with themselves and who they are men that can allow themselves to feel. It takes a lot of strength to feel. It's actually a lot easier to shut it all off, and it takes so much knowing of yourself to be able to meet yourself in your feelings, and go from there. So yeah, what do you think? I think you think the same,
That
right?
was, yeah, that was so beautifully said. Mic drop, no comment. Boom.
Let's get this will be our last question, right?
There's so many more now.
But we're at 30 minutes.
So much
Actually,
fun.
maybe let's do two more. Should we do the next two?
Like three.
Okay, are you a person who gets jealous easily?
I would say yes and no. Depends on the situation. So jealous of other people? No, I'm not. I'm somebody that I'm noticing that like I like to stick to my own life. I'm always in myself. However, like if with like with like my friends, yeah. Like especially no, let's even talk about this. Like if we're hanging out and we're chatting and it's like, yeah, and you're like, oh, I'm going for dinner. And I'm like, oh, what time are we going? It's like, no, I'm going for dinner. I'm like, with who? You tell me you have other friends. You have other friends? Why?
It's
I'm your
funny you
friend.
say that. It's funny you say that because every time you're like, oh yeah, I'm just going on my way. I'm on my way to meet with Dinah. We're gonna go for a walk. I'm like, oh, okay. That's nice. Oh, we slept on the phone talking. I'm never gonna let that go. We were on the phone talking all night. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. Mm, 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 mm.
Definitely double standards, huh? Mhm. I think that question too is like a you question, like where are you at with yourself, if that makes sense? Because if you're jealous
Mhm.
about somebody or something else, then that means that you're not happy with you and your current state as to where you are. I think a good practice for that is gratitude. Like every time that like I somebody else gets something and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's coming from me, like for example, I'm trying to apply for my masters and so forth,
Mhm.
and then seeing other people graduating with their masters, it's almost like it's an encouraging, oh, okay, okay, cool, I'm
Mhm.
almost there, so you're
Mhm.
doing it. I strongly believe that if you see something going on in someone else's life, the fact that you've seen it means that it's coming for you. So instead of us being jealous, oh my gosh, this person graduated. Oh my gosh, this person got a new job. Oh my gosh, this person got married. It's
Mhm.
more so, oh my gosh, amazing. So that then that thing is then also coming for you. There's this like, ooh, I love it when I, can somewhat relate it back. There's this in scripture terms, when Mary gets pregnant,
Mhm.
and because she's quote unquote carrying a divine child, a child of divinity, and God then places Elizabeth, who is also carrying John the Baptist, which
Mm-hmm.
is also a child that was in the time a divine child. But what God does is when God wants to do something for you, God will send someone that is doing that exact same thing. God shows you what it is first. He shows you the vision before you can actually receive it. So let's say you see someone graduating, like my case, graduating with the masters, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're graduating, and you tell me with your master. I'm like, yeah, okay, I see
Yeah.
it, I see it, I'm coming, you know. And the more gratitude that you give for that person and for yourself, then the easier it is for that thing to come slow in alignment faster. I
Yeah.
don't even know if I did that even make
That is
sense.
like perfect. Like that makes so much sense. And I feel like that's similar to that thing that I was talking about in that video about how like when you see the energy of things that you want around you, like you see people getting jobs or you're in these really nice places and with really important people and you start to feel like insecure and inadequate, and you shouldn't, because that energy being close to you, being around you, isn't there to make you feel small or to make you feel a type of way about yourself. It's there to show you that the energy is now close by. Now you can see it, you can interact with the energy, because maybe before you wouldn't even have been able to see those people graduating with their masters. They wouldn't have been close to you. You wouldn't have any friends graduating with their masters. And now all of a sudden you have friends graduating with their masters. You see them all over the place online. It means that that energy is now coming close to you. So I feel the same way as well when I feel jealous or envious. Maybe when I see someone with something that I hope to eventually have for myself, I'm like, okay, no, it just means that it's like close to me, that I can even see it. I can see what it looks like on someone else, so I can get an idea. And then I can even talk to them maybe. Now I'm interacting with that thing through them. I'm interacting with that opportunity through them. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh my
you
gosh,
know.
I love that because like when you said energy, when you spoke about energy, it's like you're meeting the vibration. The fact that you see it over there, it means you're actually meeting that
Hmm.
vibration. But the minute that you think so small of yourself, it's like you're falling off the vibration. So now you like move it further away. The energy then
Yeah,
drifts
exactly. Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you get jealous, it's like you're saying that's not mine. But
It's
when
an
you interact with it,
insecurity.
yeah, when you interact with it, you're saying,
Mhm.
no, come here. You're in my world now. Let's
Mhm.
talk.
It's like bring
Let's
it
have a
closer.
yeah. It's like let's have a
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah,
It makes the vision for you yourself even clearer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this was an amazing question. Mm. Ooh, do you think it's better to argue and solve it or stay quiet and keep peace? Yeah.
Hmm. It's
I
never a
don't
good
know.
idea to argue. um, I think it's always. I think it's rarely ever a good idea to suppress energy that wants to be released. Like we've said,
Mhm.
things just want to be released. They just want to come out. They want to come out. So I don't think it's when you keep the peace, I don't think you're ever really keeping the peace. It just looks like you
Mhm.
are, but there's a war now within yourself. You're just substituting one piece for like another. You're taking preventing the outer war, but creating an inner war. And so I think that can never be the answer. So it's better to speak about it and figure. You don't have to solve it if it's not possible, but let it out. Share how you're feeling. Stand your ground. Speak from your heart, not from the ego. I think that's the one thing about arguing. You're not speaking about it from your mind or from your ego. You're speaking about it from the heart. And I think whenever you speak from your heart, that's when you're able to keep the peace.
I love
Mm.
that. And even like for me as well, the issue is the projection,
Mm.
and I'm somebody that always struggled communicating or getting my point across. My projection,
Mm.
my delivery was not on par. It would come out as disrespectful. It would come out as screaming at that person. So of course they took it as that. And then that would bring on the argument that this question is asking, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So yeah, when you speak through the heart, and you're mindful of the way that you sound, the way that it's attacking that person, or not even attacking, it's reaching that person.
Mm.
um then it shouldn't be, because at the same time when you suppress this energy, it's almost like reminding me of the other question that you said. I can't remember what it was, but when we carry things, the men should cry, should
Mm.
men
Mm.
cry. And it's
Mm.
almost like when we suppress the energy, our entire day, our entire week is now ruined because we're carrying this heavy burden. We struggle to even
Mm.
sleep. Now we can't even sleep. It's like that internal
Yeah.
war we're talking
Mm.
about. But the minute, I think safe spaces is super, super important, and ensuring that everybody that you're with, in a romantic situation, a friendship situation, even a classroom, whatever setting you are in, having people that you're able to express yourself with in the correct manner and tell them, okay, hey, like, I know this is the situation, but this is what I'm currently feeling. This is what I'm currently going through.
Mm.
The projection and delivery needs to be important.
It's so
Yeah.
important. I think you need to remember, I think people like, we need to all remember that whenever we're having conflict with somebody, a lot of the time, if not all of the time, we're not fighting with the person, right? It's not you versus me, right? It's you and me versus the issue. It's like, there is this issue. How do we figure it out together? And I think when you approach it from that way, then you can solve everything and keep the peace.
All part of the same team, babes.
Okay, our last question. That's supposed to be the last. Our last question is, who knows you best?
Yeah, Chelsea, who knows you best?
There's a reason why I asked it was so that you could answer it first.
I think I think that you're definitely one of the people that know me best. I think if I were to pick, you know me so well. If I were to, yeah, like, oh my gosh, I always picture this. Like, if I'm not somewhere and I need someone to be there and say something the way that I would say it or do something the way that I might like it, I would definitely pick you because you're so mindful, of other people. And you're always asking questions. What about you? Like, you're, I don't know, you pay such close attention to detail that it makes sense. Because of it, I trust you so much, with like, especially like even with So, like I didn't know what it was. All I had was words. And then you were like, okay, so what are we actually doing? What is this? And you're like, just give me an idea. And then I give you an idea and you're like, okay, so this is what it is. You start going and then like bringing it to life, if that makes sense. And you brought it to life that it matched me so well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, like this is so me, And like I don't know how you did it. Like it just, yeah, like I with such little words. And I think that in any situation, like I don't need to say many words to you. It's the bare minimum. Sometimes I don't need to speak at all, and you already get it, or what's the telepathy.
We have that. We have that. It's so funny. I thought about this a couple of weeks ago actually, but obviously I didn't tell you. This is just to me. That I was like, if I ever didn't know who I was, it was just a random thing. I was like, if I ever didn't know who I was, who would I need to be able to remind me of who I am? And immediately was like, well, there's Cheryl. There's only one person who could probably do that, and it would be Cheryl. And I was like, oh, and then I started to picture you in my head, and you were like an anchor in my head. You appeared as like an anchor, and you were like anchoring me, you know, to the ground, like holding me in place where I was like safe and steady. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like,
Oh
okay, okay.
wow.
So I guess yeah, I would say as well, you're up there for people who know me best. Because I think if I ever lost who I was and lost my identity and just lost and was adrift, it would be you that I would trust to bring me back to myself, like you bring me back to me. You remind me of my own, of who I am and my own power and my own strength and my love and my, just like when I come here, I come home, come home to myself.
Mhm.
So yeah.
You know what? It makes so much sense because even like with even this question, like you know me best because you're me. That's when I started to understand that, you are me and I am you stuff
To
that
say
people
that
was
all
going
the
on about.
time. You always used to say that all the time. Yeah.
Like when that was my boom, my aha moment because like it would, yeah, like you would even like I wasn't like used to like having people over or going to people's places. That was my thing because I'd always been a loner. But when you came and you just did your own thing, and I'm like, yeah, and then you're doing it the way that I would do it too, and I was like, why is she walking up here like me, and for the longest time it bothered me, but I was like, yeah, that's me. I couldn't grasp the concept of you are me and I am you. Like it didn't
And
make any
that's so funny that you
sense.
said that too, because I also never really used to go to people's houses and still don't like that. And I would
Mhm.
be at your place like every other day. I'd be like, I'm driving over,
Bruh.
waking up to go to Cheryl's house. And I just come and I arrive, open my fridge, like, where's the food? Open my cupboards, like, where can I, like, I'm home and I sit down and
Oh,
I'm like, so what's up?
you know what I mean? And to think
Yeah.
that that's how, like, this welcome home, that's how, like, so began by understanding that, like, we've come home, we've come to this place where we can just be, whatever we
Hmm.
want to be, like, it just, like, and I feel like I then ended up feeling so much confidence within myself, too, just by
Hmm.
watching you and how confident I saw you being, wherever you were, like, so, like, yeah, you're so confident. And I was like, yeah, not knowing. And it's so crazy because I would have thought that I'm very confident.
Hmm.
But now I'd never met somebody. For some reason, it felt like confidence was a negative thing. It was always
Hmm.
deemed as, oh, you're too confident, or you're too this, you're too
Hmm.
that, you're too much. But when I'd see you and I'm like, but she's confident. Like, so is she too much? Because I kind of like this too much. And so I would resonate so much with you and how you were and how you do things and how you think about things that it then like made me feel like, wait a minute. So there's more of me out there that are too
Yeah.
much. I was like, I like this. So it just
Yeah.
helped me be more me to this
Mm.
world. Yeah.
That really resonates with me as well because I've always looked at you and you're so certain of what you want. Like there's no telling you things are going to be any other way. If you decide that you want this and this and this and this, it's done. Right? That's what you want and you want it that way. And I'm like, and I love the it's not even the confidence, it's the certainty that you have that this is how you want your things to be. And of course, you're going to have them. And why would you have them any other way? Why would it be
Why
any
you
other way?
settling for less?
Why? Why would it be any other way than exactly the way
Wow.
that I want it to be? And that energy, that
Mm,
certainty is like, it's like I'm gonna go into this world and I'm gonna take what I want. I'm gonna have what I want, and I'm not going to be ashamed about it. I'm not gonna have an issue with it, and it's something that I always felt. But like I said, I didn't always express it or didn't show it or um,
mhm,
didn't have as much certainty in it, or sometimes I would hesitate or things like that. But you always come with so much certainty. I'm gonna have that and I'm gonna have that. And then it reminds me as well, I'm like, you're right, me too. I'm gonna have that and I'm gonna have that and I'm gonna take that and we're gonna enjoy, And it always puts me right back into my path, into
mhm,
alignment, into I remember you said it the other day, the other week when you were like, destiny keepers. I was like, yeah, like
mhm.
you help to keep me on my path. You help to remind me, when I forget, I'm like, okay, no, this is where we're going. Let's look, this is where we're going. Let's go.
This was
Yeah.
you to me today where you were like, no, 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 no. This is what we're doing. This is where, and I was like, yeah, I got so caught up in the world, and I was like, no, no,
Mhm.
this is the anchor.
Yeah.
This is the anchor.
Anchor,
This is
yeah.
back to what we said in the beginning of this video, that like when we share things, we actually understand that, oh my gosh, we're having the same thoughts, we're having the same experiences, which is
Mhm.
what we've been doing throughout this entire video now, that you thought that way of
Yeah.
me, that I was so certain I'm all of this, and it's like I think the same thing of you, that you're so confident, you know exactly what it is that you
Mhm.
want. And then it helps boost us onto that same path. Oh my gosh, we're gliding through life. Hmm.
Yeah, I like I like that.
The confidence that community brings you. Wow.
It gives you so much power. So much
Wow.
power.
Wow.
It reminds you
Wow.
so much of your own inner strength. With like real community, it's like they're reminding you that you can get up, like yourself. You actually can stand up by yourself. You don't need somebody to like, carry you there, take you there. You actually have it all inside of you. And it's like the best kind of love helps to bring that out. It doesn't give it externally. It brings it out. It brings all the light and the greatness that's always been in you. It gives it a place to like land. It gives it people, someone to receive it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Yeah.
Amazing.
This
Okay.
has been so
Yeah.
much fun.
I know this is
This
great.
has been so much fun. You guys, more questions. I hope you guys resonating with a lot of this. We'd also love to hear what your thoughts, opinions, insights are, because that's what community is about, right? Sharing and resonating. And there may be some points, some, little specimens of insights that we have missed ourselves that you could give us a aha moment, So I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for us. Like
Yeah.
what?
See you next time.
See you guys next Friday.
Bye.
Bye.